Hi, Leo. My name is Darlene Dotson, and this is your destiny of truth for April of 2021. On the 1st or the 2nd, depending where you're at, we've got Mercury in Pisces in the 8th house, and that is sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in the 6th house. You have got to strip away some things going on either in your health or your work life. Okay. Pluto has been there for a while and he's changing things in your health or in your work life. And it's because he wants you to get rid of what is no longer working. It's time, Leo. Then on the 3rd, we have got Mercury entering Aries in the 9th house. Now, with Mercury here, you're going to be communicating more aggressively about your philosophies in publishing, broadcasting, advertising, with foreigners, long distance. I mean, ninth house covers a lot. And for you, Leo, you're going to be doing this very energetically, and you're going to do it in order to move forward in your life. Then on the 6th, we've got Venus in Aries in the 9th house, sextiling Mars in Gemini in the 11th house. With Venus here, you're going after either the things that you love or money that have to do with your 9th house. And that's advertising, something, a foreigner. Let's trying to think here. Could be a foreigner. It could be you're going after what's foreign to you. It could be broadcasting, education, but you're aggressively pursuing this because you want to change your love life or you want to change your financial picture. You're not going to stay where you're at. And the sextile, to to Mars here in Gemini says that it could be to do with your hopes, wishes, and dire desires, and I hope so with it being Venus, okay? And you're probably, you can do more than one thing in this area, okay, with your friendships, with your goals, your desires. Maybe you got two different ones in that 9th house area that you're pursuing. Then on the 9th, we've got Mars in Gemini in the 11th house, squaring Neptune in Pisces in the 8th. And all I'm going to tell you is, don't let everybody know what you're doing here, Leo, because you've got Neptune in Pisces in the 8th house. That can stand for an addiction. Okay, it's with somebody that you're intimately involved in. It could be there's manipulations or half truths happening in an intimate relationship, and because there's dual things going on in that 11th house of your hopes, desires, and your friendships. Now, if you're using it to be creative, then you're doing the right thing, especially if it's in the 8th house. You could be learning astrology, you could be learning tarot. People call it the occult. I don't call it the occult. Okay, it's just a way of life for me, and when you're born with it, I don't think that it's an occult. I just think it's your blessing. Okay, and a lot of people just don't see it that way. But you could be putting actions there too with group endeavors, and they can be your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Now, on the ninth, we have Mercury in Aries, and that is conjunct Chiron in Aries in your ninth house. And you're trying to heal something there that has to do with your philosophies or advertising, broadcasting, higher education, something that's foreign. And you're doing a lot of communicating in this area in order to try to make it right. Now, and it could also be the government. Then on the 10th, we've got Mercury in Aries in the ninth, and that's sextiling Saturn in Aquarius in the 7th. Now, you have been feeling like you've been held back in relationships and in partnerships. You want to move forward, but there's something with it being in Aquarius that something strange is happening or something out of the ordinary, because Aquarius is anything but ordinary. Something different is happening in your partnerships that are restricting you right now. But you can overcome that on the 10th if you do communication, okay? If you communicate and you go after it aggressively, but you're going to have to communicate what you want. Then on the 10th, we have got Mercury in Aries in the ninth. We just did the 10th. Okay. We're still on the 10th, but we're with Venus in Aries in the ninth, sextiling Jupiter in Aquarius in the 7th. And what is different or not normal is expanding issues in your partnership house. And you actually love it, okay? Because it's either going to bring you money or love in the ninth house, but you're going to have to do some work to get there too. And it has to do with partnerships. Now, on the 11th, we have got Venus in Aries in the ninth house. And that is squaring Pluto in Capricorn in the 6th house. And again, Pluto's in your 6th house. He's been messing with your 6th house. Okay, and he's trying to get rid of what you no longer need to deal with in your health or in your work life. And it's squaring Venus, which is in Aries in the ninth. Okay, there are people that love you, and they have just a higher philosophy in life. They also, it could also be that you love something ninth house, whether it's education, a foreigner, traveling, trying to think here, broadcasting, advertising, philosophies, religion, and it's sextiling Jupiter, okay? So there's some ninth house thing that you love that you're going after aggressively, okay? And in going after that aggressively, you are expanding issues in your 7th house. It could be, with it being in Aries, Aquarius, it could be charitable, okay? It could be altruive, okay? Giving, you know, Or it could also expand because Aquarius is are really good at friendships, but not relationships. So it could expand you being alone some more. That it's just up to you, okay, on how this is going to transpire in your life and what's been going on. Then on the 11th, we have got Venus in Aries in the ninth house. Oh, we just did that. Uh, well, I was talking about Jupiter. What? Okay. Well, with Aries again in the ninth house, there's something that you love. Okay, advertising, broadcasting. Trying to think here. Advertising, broadcasting, a foreigner, something that's different, a philosophy, religion, a trip, but it's squaring, you know, Pluto in Capricorn in your sixth house. That is your work life. That is small pets. And that is also your own physical health. So there's something that you're doing ninth house wise that is affecting your health. Okay. It could also be, you know, that there's something ninth house that you want to do that is affecting your job. There's a lot. And Pluto's doing it because he's stirring the pot. He wants things that are different in that area. He wants you to strip away what's not working anymore. Okay? It's time for the new. And then on the 11th, we've got our new moon in Aries on top of it. Okay? And new moons are new beginnings, and it's in your ninth house. Okay? A philosophy, higher education, foreigners, travel, advertising, marketing. But again, it's all square Pluto. You're going to have to overcome issues in your work life or your, in your work life, your health, or, dealing with a pet, in order for you to have this new beginning. Now, on the 13th, we've got the Sun in Aries in the ninth, and you're totally invested in this ninth house matter, whether it be religion, philosophies, marketing, advertising, a foreigner. Yeah, my mind went blank. It's a ninth house matter, and it's sextiling Mars in Gemini in your 11th house, which is your hopes, wishes, and dreams. If you put the work in, and you might put it in more than one place, and with those hopes and dreams, you're going to come out okay that day on the 13th. Then on the 14th, we got Venus entering Taurus in the 10th house. And the 10th house, with it being Taurus, you're going to be more grounded now. You're going to think things out a little bit more instead of rushing in. Your Tauruses are cautious, so you're going to be a little bit more cautious in things that you do for love, or how you earn your money. You're going to be a little bit more cautious with spending money or with your employer. And then on the 15th, we've got the Sun in Aries in the ninth house, again squaring Pluto and Capricorn in the sixth house. There is something that you're invested in that you shine at, okay? Whether it be advertising, your philosophies, um, a foreigner, things that are different, okay? But again, ninth house matters, also government, okay? Is squaring Pluto in Capricorn in your sixth house, that work house, that health house. Again, this, Pluto's not leaving there anytime soon. He's going to strip away, which you don't need in that career house. He wants changes. He wants stability for you. He wants you to be more grounded. And on the 16th, again, sorry, not the 6th, the 16th or the 17th, okay, something's going, hold on. That's what I thought. That on the 15th, we've got the sun in Aries, in your ninth house, okay? And that's sextiling Jupiter, okay? And Jupiter's in your seventh house. And so partnerships are expanding because of how you're shining your light in that ninth house matter. But then on the 16th, we have that sun in the ninth house squaring Pluto that I just got done talking about, where he's trying to strip away things. He wants a change there. He wants you more stable, more grounded, and you haven't felt that way in a while, Leo. Then on the 16th or the 17th, we've got Mars in Gemini in the 11th house, trining Jupiter in Aquarius in your 7th house. Now, again, Jupiter expands what it touches, and he's in Aquarius. He's expanding what's different in your partnerships. He's expanding what's unusual in your partnerships. Okay, he wants new horizons in those partnerships, and you're going to have to communicate or advertise or market, those philosophies that are different. But you want to concentrate that day on what is different and expand on them in order to expand those partnerships and that be able to communicate in a way with that ninth house matter that you want. And then the same day, we've got Mercury in Aries in the ninth house, sextiling Mars in Gemini in the 11th. And that's all about your hopes, wishes, and dreams and the groups you belong to and your friendships. If you communicate aggressively what you're trying to accomplish in those ninth house matters, you're going to start to see headway because you're taking action there. But you've also got to remember, Mercury in that ninth house is squaring Pluto in Capricorn in the 6th. He wants things more stable there. So you're going to have to change things up in order to make them stable. Then on the 17th or 18th, we've got Mars in Gemini, okay, in the 11th house. And that's in conjunct Pluto in the 6th house. Again, Pluto wants change in that career sector. Well, not career, your work sector. Okay, your health sector. He wants change there, and he's stripping away what's not working anymore. And it's in conjunct Mars in Gemini. So you're going to have to look at some of your friendships or some of your dreams, okay? And because some of the things that are happening aren't working. And it's time to get rid of what's not working in that area so you can move forward and have the stability that you want. Then on the 18th, we have the Sun conjunct Mercury in Aries in the 9th house. That is what we know as the cosme. Okay? I'm going to tell you, don't argue that day. Go to the gym. You know, do what you need to do to stay peaceful that day. Get rid of that aggressive energy, in another way. And it's in your 9th house. So it's going to come from either a foreigner, marketing, advertising, philosophies, religion, travel. There's going to be some type of explosion on this day. Just don't argue. Best bet. Okay? Then, and I'm saying that because one day later on the 18th, we have Mercury actually moves into Taurus. And Taurus, they're more peaceful. Okay? They contemplate things before they react. And Aries just reacts. And so now you're going to be able to think about and communicate in a way that other people are going to be more grounded to your suggestions and ideals. And you're going to put a lot of communications in with either your employer, your father figure, trying to think of who else, father figure, employer, could be about your own power too. You're going to be communicating in a powerful way. Then the same day, the Sun enters Taurus in the 10th house. And again, you're going to be shining a light on those issues with your employer, with trying to think the things that you value about them. It could also be with your father or your own power and how you value that. Then on the 22nd, we've got Venus conjunct Uranus in Taurus in the 10th house. There's going to be changes either in your money or your love life or, your own power. It's in Taurus. It's all about the things that you value, and that Venus being there, it's something that you love that has to do with your 10th house, whether it be your father, your, could be husband too, but generally that's 7th house. But it's something that you value, okay? And if there's going to be a change there, okay? Then on the 23rd, we have got Mars entering Cancer in your 12th house. You're going to be a little bit more subdued, Leo. You're going to be withdrawing into your shell, and spending time with your family, and thinking about your family and the things that have caused emotional distress for you, and how your own psychological makeup has affected your family. Because also on the 23rd or 24th, depending where you're at, you've now got Mercury conjunct Uranus in Taurus in the 10th. And you know that you've got to communicate in a different way, because it's Uranus and they want change. In order to bring about the change that you want in that career sector, what you're known for, but you've got to learn how to communicate in a different way. Then on the 24th or 25th, we've got Mercury in Taurus in the 10th house, squaring Saturn in Aquarius in the 7th. And again, Saturn restricts what he touches. Okay? And he is restricting your partnerships. Okay? Also, open enemies too. But he's restricting what is different. He's restricting the new, the unusual. He wants things the same old way. And it's Venus. It's coming from the financial sector. It's coming from someone you love, that, or your own power. You're used to things being the same way, and you're stuck there, okay? And the partnerships want what's different and new. Could be that too. Then on the 25th, okay, we have Mercury in Taurus in the 10th house, and that's now squaring Saturn in Aquarius in your 7th house. And again, Saturn in that 7th house. He's restricting what's new and different. And it's either coming from your partnership or you're restricting what's new and different within a partnership. And it's going to have to be with communications on this day. Somebody is stuck and they like the way things are and they don't want to change it. And then the other one wants change. And someone's going to have to communicate their power and stick to their guns. But also you can communicate, just so you know, because Mercury is conjunct Venus that day. And there can be harmony, okay? There can be love. But you're going to have to communicate things in a way that is going to allow people to move forward instead of being stuck. Then on the 26th, we have got the full moon in Scorpio, okay? And that moon is in your 4th house of home and family. And you're looking at some pretty deep issues going on at home. And you want to shine your light and be powerful and, do what you've always done. And, but because of it, there's some really deep issues going on at home. With the home and the family, you're having to dig down underneath and really looking at, and almost you're using your intuition here to look at the scars that are being left through the abuse of power. Then on the 27th, we have got Pluto retrograde in Capricorn in the 6th house. And like I said, you've been going through a lot of changes and you've been moving forward in them. Well, now Pluto's retrograding and he's going to let you look at those changes to see if it's really what's working for you or if some more changes need to be happening. Because Pluto likes to take you into the underworld. And I mean, right into his belly. Then on the 29th, we have got Mercury in Taurus in the 10th house, sextiling Neptune in Pisces in the 8th house. And you know what you want at the most deepest level, okay? You know what you want intimately. You're just going to have to communicate it and use do it in a way that lets everybody know, okay, where you're going in all of this. That you're not here, you're not going to play games anymore. You want honesty, you want uh, trust, and with all and it could have to do with an addiction in the eighth house. Could also be that you're communicating powerfully about an addiction that has to stop. Then on the 30th, we've got the sun in Taurus, conjuncting Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. And you are going to have to learn how to use your power differently, or someone in that, whether it be your employer or your father, okay? But somebody has to use their power differently in order for you to shine in what you're known for. Well, Leo, for you, I'm going to just say you're going through a lot of changes in your health or in your work life or with a small pet, okay? And you're going to keep going through those changes. And because of those changes, it's bringing restrictions in your partnerships and expanding issues that have to be dealt with within those partnerships. And maybe it's, the philosophies and the dreams aren't on the same page. And the partnerships that walk with you need to be on the same page with you. So that's your astrological forecast, okay, for the month of April, Leo. Now, I am using the Work Your Light cards, okay? And we're going to shuffle. Okay, Leo, it's time to break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Okay, you can't continue on and keep doing what you have been doing. And I'm almost thinking that it's more health-wise. Because you know that it's getting you nowhere. It's not making you feel good about who you are or where you're going, and with everything I'm seeing with the sixth house, I can almost guarantee that it's probably some kind of health issue. It could be your work life too. But, I really do think that it's more health than anything. That there's got to be some kind of change in maybe your philosophy. That you need to take a different direction with your philosophies, because right now you're being called to heal your family. Okay, you've got to free yourself from living the life the way that your ancestors did. I mean, what you were born into, and that it did not work for you. So that chain has to be busted. That pattern can't continue on. It's not serving you. Whatever you're doing is not serving you. And you have to let go of emotional trauma, because that emotional trauma is not even yours, okay? When other people cause trauma to you as a child or growing up, it's because of their own fears, their own insecurities, and, their own power trips. And you've got to just let that go because it has nothing to do with you, okay? It's not yours, it's theirs, and they got to heal that, not you. Um, let go of the drama. It's not doing anybody, any good. It's not up to you to heal another person. They have to heal their self. And the sooner you realize that, the better you're going to be. But, you also have to look at your own life and see what needs to be healed, because you also have to heal you in order to move forward into a healthy life. Um, are you liking where you're sitting? What kind of future are you envisioning for yourself? Well, you need to deal with what's going on this month within partnerships and philosophies and your health or your work life. And, once you rewrite all of that, you're going to move forward into your hopes and wishes and dreams, you know. So, all I can say, Leo, is I wish you a blessed month for April. And, I will see you come May. Many blessings. Have a great one.